KFAN.
Yeah, but
hey, happy Monday. Good morning.
9 to noon.
It's the Nuggets, and it begins Saturday. Well, Lakers indeed played LeBron and killed the downtrodden Jazz. Thank you kindly for that, beloved LBJ. Denver decided to play Joker out of nowhere to get his 65th game and MVP eligibility. And he was an unstoppable first-half force yesterday when Denver went on a 22-0 spurt and ran away from an utterly disinterested San Antonio squad.
No Wemby.
It's the Nuggets. It's Denver. It's Saturday. Woe be to the Spurs because the Lakers were not beating the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round of the playoffs. Woe be to the Spurs. Head coach Chris Finch joins around 11:20 to preview this pairing, and that starts indeed in the Mile Get High City Saturday, and we start with the Northern Fire Weekend Wrap.
Indeed, the Weekend Wrap on a Monday morning, 9 to noon, brought to you by the aforementioned Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply in Minnetonka, northernfirebbq.com. And let's continue on with the howl. The Wolves beat the Pelicans. The regular season is over. You heard it from the host. Saturday, 2:30 p.m., Ball Arena. Well, 2 years ago, these teams met in the playoffs, and Game 7 went a little something like this.
Taking on the double. Down to McDaniels. To Naz Reid left side. Back to Jaden. 6 to shoot. Ant's got it up top against Gordon. Frees himself. Rises up. 3 ball all the way. Off the rim. No. Slam. Follow. Naz Reid, the 6th man of the year, comes soaring in from the wing. And he puts the Wolves up 89-82. Naz with a monster fourth quarter. He's got 11 for the game. Conley picks the pocket of Jamal Murray. Conley feeds it to Naz. Down the lane. Extra pass to the corner. Ant sets himself. Fires the 3. He hits it! It's 92-82. The Wolves lead by 10 with 3:05 left to play. An unbelievable turnaround here in the second half. From down 20 to up 10 in a Game 7 with everything on the line.
Alan Horton on the call, and you're going to get to hear him again starting Saturday. It all came down to the Lakers beating the Jazz. They got it done. Spurs beat the Nugs. Oh, Denver handles a Wemby-less San Antonio team. So it is Joker. It is Jamal. It is Brown that looks like Braun and Brown that looks like Bruce, Aaron Gordon, Tyus Jones. It will indeed be the Nuggets Saturday afternoon. You heard from PA Finchy around 11:20, and Dane Moore is going to join us manana as well. And that's going to be kind of the theme building into this Wolf series starting Saturday. A lot of perspectives, a lot of takes, a lot of talkers into Game 1 on Saturday. Oh, yeah, we got another team in the playoffs. The Minnesota Wild, they're locked in with Dallas. They lost to Nashville, but hey, this was cool.
He was looking for Brink. Loose puck in the slot. McCarron to center point. Brodin firing a wrister. Kick save rebound. They score! McCarron in tight against his former team. Has the Wild on the board with 13:06 to go. He bangs home the rebound, and the Wild trail 2-1.
Nice opportunity for McCarron scoring against his old squad, but that was the only goal the Wild scored on Saturday. They lose 2-1 to Nashville. Dallas would beat the Rangers on Saturday, so that's all finished. The Wild will be going to Dallas, and really the only thing we got to wait for now is the first game day, time, and puck drop. Western Conference in the NHL, not entirely set. Wild can play spoiler to the Ducks with their game tomorrow. Utah trying to jump them, Anaheim, for the top 3 spot in the Pacific. Nashville's not dead yet. Technically, Jets and Sharks are still alive into the final week as well. Kings in a tenuous situation. The Wild and Dallas series, as it is today, I believe is the only series that is truly set in the NHL playoffs. That includes the East as well as they go into final day. Man, remember when we used to get those sheets from Sicky for the Vox in the Box shows that listed each team and it showed the remaining matchups and the points and what needed to happen? Multicolored,
looking like they were prepared by KG in his calligraphy pen collection.
Yeah, I could have used a little help on that, Sickman. But we still get to watch them in St. Louis, home against Anaheim tomorrow, and then their regular season shall finish. Go, Minnesota Wild. How about this team?
As Gray swings and sends it high and deep to right field. Back it goes, deep it goes, and way out of here. Above the bullpen in straightaway right field, Tristan Gray. It's a 3-run homer.
Have you ever seen the movie Major League, PA?
Indeed.
So, you know, teams frustrated, teams awful. They are aware of their state. But they have like this evil overlord owner who's intentionally trying to get the team to be bad.
Age of Rage got to one of them yesterday, right?
So she can sell the team. And so they put this cardboard cutout of her in the clubhouse, and every time they get a win, they remove a piece of said attire. You think they're doing that with Tom Pohlad in the clubhouse, only with each victory, they put a piece of clothing on. The Minnesota Twins are first place in the AL Central. They took that 4-game sweep of the Tigers. They took it as momentum. They actually got handled on Friday night, but they won 2 over the weekend to meatloaf the Toronto Blue Jays. That, by the way, Tristan Gray with the 3-run shot. That led to the chasing of Max Scherzer. Those different colored eyes. He didn't get out of the 3rd inning yesterday as part of an 8-2 victory. Taj Bradley is 3-0. Didn't like the 4 walks yesterday. Did love the 7 Ks and only the 1 run allowed. He is 3-0 to begin the 2026 season. And the Twins are back home, comfy confines, just in time for a little heat up weather-wise here in town. They got Boston and Cincy visiting. And it will be Bailey Ober on the bump today against the Red Sox.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Minnesota Twins are first place in their division. Ladies and gentlemen, the Minnesota Twins, after sweeping purportedly the best team in the division, went on the road and meatloaf somebody, meaning 2 out of 3 wasn't bad. Nothing but covenant claps from yours truly. That there is nothing but good news.
To the Frozen Four, Denver. Hey, Denver.
That's a shocker.
Again.
Quick, they want to test the feet. One-timer, wrist by Brown. Tries it again. Buchberger!
Damn. That's the longest horn in the history of hockey.
Nice horn. I should have listened to this before I played it.
Chazowski, the freshman with the biggest tip of his life.
Denver beating Hastings. I think Wisconsin had a 1-0 lead for a large part of that before Denver tied it up maybe in the 3rd period, 13, 14 minutes to go. And that was with about 6 minutes remaining in the 3rd period. The Denver Pioneers. They have been in the Frozen Four 4 of the last 5 seasons and now have titles in 3 of the last 5 years. David Carl, their coach, is only 36, and he's already hanging his 3rd banner as the bench boss. The juggernaut, as we joked about on the front end of this thing, looking at the bracket, they let Sandelin in. Don't do that. Speaking of Sandelin, we might have a cool 10 a.m. hour guest. But with that said, the Wisconsin Badgers and Hastings, he had tough luck as part of a Frozen Four run with the Mavs a few years ago. Finds his way to the Frozen Four. Hauser in net for the Badgers, gives up that goal, but he was so good defensively overall, shutting down Nodak the other day. couldn't get by Denver. The Pioneers are certainly as good as it gets in college hockey, and we always forget about them in the Mile High City. How do we do that?
Hey, those who take part in the Bean Pot, those who remember the days gone by from non-Denver related WCHA teams. You know, college hockey teams now and from days gone by. The Denver Pioneers college hockey program, if you argue it is the most dominant in the history of college hockey, how can you dispute it?
11 titles, huh?
11 titles, which might be a record. Mick Tocchet, Pat Micheletti, was on the call for Westwood One. He just got back from Las Vegas late last night. He'll join 9 to noon, a little less than an hour from now.
Final aspect of the weekend wrap brought to you by Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply.
Beef.
Rory McIlroy, back-to-back Masters champ, joining Jack Nicklaus, Nick Faldo, and Tiger Woods among the back-to-back champs. Here he is reflecting on the week.
Obviously did the bulk of my work on Thursday and Friday. And I don't think I would have believed anyone if they said to me, you know, all you have to do is shoot even par for the weekend and you'll win. I definitely thought I was going to need to go out there and at least shoot a couple of under par scores. But yeah, just absolutely delighted to be able to get it done. You know, having a 6-shot lead going into the weekend, it would have been a bitter pill to swallow if I wasn't able to get myself over the finish line.
I know you were out and about this weekend, PA, so I don't know how much specifically of Masters Sunday that you got to watch, but it was an awesome day yesterday. 6 majors for Rory, by the way, only 15 golfers at that level. He's tied Lee Trevino, Faldo, and Phil Mickelson at 6. But Scheffler goes bogey-free all weekend. First time in, I think, in like 80 plus years that someone goes bogey free all weekend at the Masters, but he kept settling for pars specifically yesterday. Cam Young gets on a heater on Saturday, but then struggled yesterday. Rory has this nasty 3-putt. Russell Henley. Hey, how about Russell Henley making a charge? Morikawa was on a back 9 heater, and Justin Rose looked like he might win the thing until, it was a par 3. I forget which hole it was. He completely Nordos this chip. And that was it for him. Complete unraveling. Shane Lowry was a walking disaster, too. Awesome Sunday, but Rory finds his way to his 6th major. And as I mentioned, 4th back-to-back Masters champ in the history of the tournament.
Well, the Masters is the pinnacle of the great undulation game. And when you're at the pinnacle, the signature event of any sport, you want the stars to shine. Now, it's nice to have some puncher's chance type players, like something called Sam Burns was in contention for a while, and, some other outsiders from a name standpoint. But when the proverbial dust settled, it was Rory, it was Scotty, and they were nose to nose down to the wire. The best of the best, potentially ever the best. Gave you a great show, not only yesterday, but all tournament. And that's fantastic. Rory McIlroy has played, not exactly sure how many Masters, but it's half his life.
I think this was 18.
Okay, and I think he's 36 or 37. So
turns 37 in a month or two.
There we go. Hey, think about that. Half of his life has included Augusta.
Yeah.
That is covenant claps worthy, man, and he comes through, too.
Well, it's like we were talking with Rocco on Friday, kind of the Rocco Mediate, just kind of pointing out, like, once he did that last year, like, that could be the dam-breaking moment for him moving forward.
Yeah.
And Rory handled business, man. 12 under into the weekend, looked like he might find 20, and then had to grind his way a bit, but he did it.
That's the weekend wrap provided by
Northern Fire Grilling and Barbecue Supply in Minnetonka, northernfirebbq.com.
And now,
hardcore football.
It's the vaunted Monday mock. Yours truly decided to start a few Mondays ago, and we're going to do it like this week. The Monday mock has us to pick number 18, which is the Minnesota Vikings.
Ooh.
There are no trades in the Monday mock. There have been revisions and alterations and corrections and vibe seeking. But here's how the Monday mock's going to go today.
With a right to change it.
I'm going to rattle off the teams and the names, and we're going to move on with our lives. Why? Because there's ample time the rest of the week to break down what has happened and why. And I don't feel like doing it right now. So 18, Minnesota Vikings. Safety Dylan Thieneman, Oregon.
Ooh.
19, Carolina. Texas A&M wide receiver KC Concepcion. The Dallas Cowboys have picked 20, second pick in the first round. We have a change here from the 12 that impacts the 20. But for now, the 20 is going to be Arizona State University receiver Jordan Tyson, who was their 12. Now he's their 20 because one of the changes involves Clemson corner Avion Terrell going to the 12. Can you repeat the part of the stuff you just said all about the thing? 21, Pittsburgh Steelers guard Vega Ioane, Penn State. The guard, best guard in the draft to the Pittsburgh Steelers at 21. The LA Football Chargers, USC wide receiver Makai Lemon. USC wide receiver Makai Lemon. That's part of a change that I'll explain tomorrow or maybe the next day. 23, Philadelphia Eagles. Guard Caden Proctor, Alabama. Alabama guard Caden Proctor to the Eagles at 23. 24, Cleveland, second of 2 in the first round. Their first round pick at 6 was and will stay Ohio State wide receiver Carnell Tate at 24. With the team formerly led by Kevin Kalm, we're going to put Missouri edge Zion Young there. Ooh. Zion Young, an edge to complement Myles Garrett. Sounds good enough to eat. And finally, 25, fall down, Chicago the Chicago Bears at 25. The next layer we learn with Ben is he's not afraid to roll the dice and very much trusts his medical team. So with the 25th overall pick in the controversial Monday mock conducted by 9 to noon, the Chicago Bears select Florida inside defensive lineman Caleb Banks.
Oh my God. Wow.
Mega foot problems, even broke a foot at the combine, but beloved BJ trusts his medical staff, and he recognizes there's an 88% chance we're going to hit on this thing. And if that 88 becomes a 100, good luck to the rest of the division. So, to recap, the Monday mock from 18 to 25. Vikings, Thieneman. Carolina, Concepcion. Dallas Cowboys, Jordan Tyson. Pittsburgh, Vega Ioane, a guard from Penn State. Chargers, USC wide receiver Makai Lemon. Eagles, Caden Proctor, guard Alabama. Cleveland, Missouri edge Zion Young, and in a pari-mutuel puzzler, the Chicago Bears select Caleb Banks, inside defensive lineman from Florida, despite all of the foot breaking related terrorism. Now, that's the 18 to 25 part of the Monday mock. Now, this is the first mock of any type yours truly has decided to do in the history of the 9 to noon or 10 to 1 just for fun presentation. And quite honestly, I'm not enjoying it because too much changes day to day and week to week. But that's the Monday mock. Plenty of time this week to unpack, alter, and explain exactly what's happening. To wit, we have changes at 2, 7, 11, 12, and 14, and it's causing gridiron grief. It's supposed to provide gridiron giddiness. Instead, it's mock malaise and mock miscues and misery. But Dylan Thieneman to the Minnesota Vikings at 18, that one will not change all the way through the Power Trip Draft Show a week from Thursday and up to draft day. Courtesy of TimberTech and TimberTech.com, what's on deck 9 to noon? UMD star forward and Hobie Baker Award winner Max Plant joins around 10:20. And an hour after that, Finchy. It's Chris Finch, head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves, to give us our playoff preview, given we're getting the Nuggets. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the fun of the basking glow of the radio sun. That is 9 to noon. Back in a flash. So don't go wandering off, all right? Don't go wandering off, all right? Be right back. That's some talkbacks at the free iHeartRadio app. You get 30 seconds to have takes, talkers, tedium, and or voice your opinions regarding this talkback question. Who has a better chance to advance in the postseason and why? Is it these guys?
Randall off the Gobert screen. The lob to Rudy. Comes down with it with one hand. Then touches it to Edwards. Three ball. Yes. Fifth three of the night for Edwards. He's got 12 in his last 2 games. 22 for Anthony Edwards.
Or is it these guys?
Hughes back to Boldy, top of the right circle with a shot that glanced wide. 40 to go on the power play. Hughes to keep in left point to Boldy. A one-timer kicked out by Talbot. Rebound for Kaprizov. It was blocked as Albert Johansson blocked it out in front. Now Hughes down low for Kaprizov. He whiffed on it from the side of the cage. Boldy keeps in. Boldy uses the ice in front of him through the high slot. Now left circle. Couldn't get a shot through. He'll twist back. It's handed to the point with 20 to go on the man advantage. Boldy to Kaprizov. A shot. He scores!
Hey!
A rocket of a one-timer! It's a hat trick! The 6th career regular season hat trick for Kirill Kaprizov.
Joe O playing fast.
Fox.
So that's the talkback for today, and I would expect iterations or things in the same fishbowl but under different rocks as this talkback during the course of the week. Well, the Wild still have 2 games left. So they're at St. Louis tonight. I would be very, very surprised if many, if any, of the high-enders played tonight. Why? Because tomorrow at home closes things. It's a home game. People pay money to watch these players. And it's fan appreciation night. And it's the final tune-up before taking on the Big D. So Wild, keep everybody healthy over the next 2. That's obviously a key. Ask the Dallas Stars, who are experiencing some injury-related terrorism up to round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. But here's the talker for the free iHeartRadio app. Download that bad boy and find the little microphone and give us up to 30 seconds on what you think about this. Who has a better chance to advance in the postseason and why? The Minnesota Timberwolves on the road, sans home court against Denver, or the Wild at Dallas. Dallas has home ice advantage. One part of the equation could be, if interested, the Wolves win playoff series and the Wild haven't in a decade. Now, present tense, past times behind, and we're not going to fall for the same old line. But the Wolves have won playoff series of late, and the Wild haven't. So does that mean the easy answer is the Timberwolves? I don't think so, but I think it plays part into it because the leagues are so different. Nikola Jokic for the Denver Nuggets, beloved Joker. He's one of the very best basketball players on the planet, if not the best because of his size and what he does with said size. Robertson, Johnston, Ottinger, et al., very, very good, but not in the conversation for the best in the universe. Can I get a talkback witness on that? The Wolves are hooking Joker, who perhaps is best in show. The Stars, however, are a deep, deep bunch that sucks vibes out of road arenas with their methodical play and diabolical execution of ice hockey schemes. Talkback's free iHeartRadio app. Who has a better chance to advance and why? Wolves without home court against the Nuggets, or the Wild sans home ice against the Dallas Stars? Now, remember what yours truly unfurled last week. Remember what 9 to noon unfurled last week. Road teams have prevailed in series all throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs, not just round 1. Road teams in the NHL have prevailed in series the last 4 years 65% of the time. The lower seed has won 65% of series the last 4 years in the Stanley Cup playoffs, heading to the finals. What about the NBA? In just round one, the last 4 years, National Basketball Association and the playoffs, though. The question, Are the visitors Road Warriors, or are the visitors Road Warriors? Last year in the NBA, round one, road teams lost 6 of 8 series.
Yeah.
The Wolves beat the Lakers and did so as a 6 seed. Ratty Lakers squad. Too bad the Spurs couldn't be interested enough last night to beat a Denver team that played one of its best players, because the LA Lakers were not beating the Minnesota Timberwolves in round one. But this is our lot in life. We're on the road. We get Joker guy. Last year, NBA round one, road teams lost 6 of 8 series. After the 24-25 season, a couple of seasons ago, home teams in round one, the higher seeds in round one, captured 6 of 8 series.
Oh my gosh.
What about 3 years ago? 2023. Down with these Road Warriors. Down with these lower seeds. 4-4. 4-4, pitiful me. The road teams were able to capture 4 of the 8 opening round series in the National Basketball Association. 4 road teams ruined dreams for home crowds. Now, that's very cool. In fact, that year, the Heat beat top-seeded Milwaukee in round one. In a shocking development, ladies and gentlemen, an 8 beat a 1 in the NBA, which basically never happens. And in fact, Jimmy the Bulldog, though, they carried that upset of the Bucks all the way to the NBA Finals. They would lose, but nevertheless, they went Road Warrior, Road Warrior, Road Warrior, Road Warrior. But after the 23, in the first round, road teams got 4 of them. And finally, since we did 4 years of the NHL, let's do 4 years of the NBA. After the 2022-2023 NBA season, home teams, round one of the NBA playoffs after the 22-23, 0-8.
L.
0-8.
L.
No 22-23 in the 25-26, please. Let's not have any 8-0s in the first round, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very bad stuff. Very bad stuff. 8-0, though. Road Warriors, all of them. So, last 4 years of the NBA playoffs, the higher seeds have won 75% of the series. Why do we bring it up? Because our beloved Timberwolves are a road team in round one. Now, as the talkbacks go, who has a better chance of advancing and why? The Wolves without home court advantage against Denver, or the Wild sans home ice against Dallas? The Wild. I'm not answering my own question. I'm just saying, regarding the Wild, here are some things on which I believe fans will be focusing or should be focusing with this series at Dallas. You shipped all in on Kaprizov, didn't you? And he's hot. Hartsey, red hot into the postseason. Boldy, becoming top 10 stock if he's not already there. They're all healthy. Stunned the league with the Quinn Hughes trade. He's quality stock, made for moments like the postseason. We've heard a million times, and it's not worth disputing, this is the very best Wild team in the history of the franchise. Now to the Stars. Hartman roughed up their best defenseman, Miro Heiskanen, last Thursday, and the blue liner has not played since with a lower body injury.
Oh my gosh.
That right there is major, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, Stars general manager Jim Nill said last Friday on the ticket in Dallas, they hope to have Heiskanen for the first round against the Wild. It wasn't, he's good, he'll be ready to go. But it was, we hope to have him back. Now we get to Rupe Hintz. He's one of the better players for the Dallas Stars, and he has played just a single game since the Olympic break. Dallas GM guy said he's still week to week, But you see, something has gone amiss here with beloved Rupe Hintz. Because if you do a deeper dive, you can find reports that the same general manager and others involved in the covenant expected Hintz to return near the end of the regular season. And now that ain't the plan. The plan ain't the plan. Now it's, we hope he's able to play at some point in the first round series. The hope with Heiskanen, the high-end blue liner, is that he will play game one. I wouldn't count on it, but I would count on him playing sometime during the series. With Rupe Hintz, one of their better players, I mean, I think they're sweating this thing out big time. Talkbacks, who has a better chance at advancing from the first round as Road Warriors? Wolves at Denver Saturday at 2:30, or the Wild at Dallas, which starts this weekend. Timberwolves head coach Chris Finch joins today at 11:20. Finchy, 11:20 today. And 9 to noon has a Vox in the Box for the Wild's final Minnesota practice that takes place this Thursday. We have a Vox in the Box Thursday, so we can wave goodbye to our beloved Minnesota Wild and wish them well. Expect a Vox in the Box Thursday from Tria, Minnesota Wild's final practice, before the first round life changer commences Saturday or Sunday down Big D Way. We're going to be there to wish the fellas well before they head south. Now, that's Thursday, and all of this is just exceptional. It's an exceptional sports time of the year for the professional locals and for the professional winter sports teams. Unless Commissioner Bettman decides to drop that first Wild game in Saturday at 2:30. Come on now, man.
Oh, my God.
Have a heart for Minnesota sports fans, man, and put it in the evening on Saturday or sometime on Sunday.
Going to learn a lot based on who gets the plus.
Well, the whole thing, yeah, right. And you better have Prime Video if you want to watch Finchy on Saturday. Yeah, we're right back to that, aren't we?
Oh,
that's great.
Great.
That's cool, man. But you know what? It's the here and now. It's the future, and it's the now. It ain't the future. It's the now.
We know for a fact there won't be any conflicts because with the way they schedule our games in the Midwest, puck drops certainly will not be before 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the evening on Saturday for game one.
That's also been a negative case for said Hal.
Yeah, that's true.
And we get them Saturday at 2:30 in the afternoon, which is sheer perfection. Unless the commissioner decides to drop the Wild Stars in at 3 o'clock.
I always love that one.
Oh, that's great. I mean, like going from Prime Video to FanDuel, that's super easy. I'm sure Prime Video to Netflix over to Paramount. Then I got to find Hulu and learn I have to sign up for Fubo just to watch my favorite team play. Well, that's coming up this weekend. Oh, geez, holy cow, a week from Thursday. How great is this going to be? With the 18th pick in the 2026 National Football League draft, the Minnesota Vikings select. We've headed to Denver for Alan Horton and Jim Peterson in game whatever of the first round of the NBA playoffs. That's going to be super special.
I'm Cal Soderquist, and we'll keep you updated on the NFL draft action. But now let's bring it back to Alan and Jim Pete.
With the 18th pick in the 2026 NFL draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Dill. I'm Cal Soderquist. What an amazing game the New York Knicks just had against somebody, and what a dramatic comeback. Super duper. All right, let's roll with these talkbacks now. We're beyond having to explain what to do with the free iHeart Radio app, iHeart Audio app.
I think so.
So listen to your audio, listen to your radio, and who has a better chance to advance and why? Who do you expect to advance and why? Wild at Dallas or T-Wolves at Denver? Jump into the mix and to be heard.
This is Mark here. So on a question about who can get out of the first round between the Wolves and the Wild, I still do think it's the Wolves. I'm more of a hockey fan, but I just think you got to prove it, and the Wild haven't proved it yet. And the Wolves have gotten past the first couple rounds the last couple of years, so I really want the Wild to get out of the first round, but I just have to say the Wolves are probably going to have a better chance. So have a great day, guys.
Yeah, you too, bud. I agree with that. I mean, if we were laying it out from a percentage standpoint, I would, if I got to go above 50 instead of going it's 50-50, they both have equal chances, which is flimsy and lame. I would go the way of the Timberwolves, a fully healthy team, heading into a series, granted, against Joker Guy, who's very difficult to beat. But they've done quite well against him in certain parts of important games over the years. And Nordo dropped some highlights in the weekend wrap, including a Game 7 victory at Denver. So they've shown, with certain guys on the team, they've shown they can do that. But when we get to the Minnesota Wild, assuming everybody stays healthy and happy up to the weekend when the series begins down Dallas way, if the Wild are my 10 of 10 favorite team, and like Billy, Johnny, Christy, Susie, Tamika, and Antoine, they have game-worn Erickson X and game-worn Petries and game-worn Damian Hunts. Well, that's all they think about in research. They would know up until recently, the Dallas Stars had been handling the Minnesota Wild for fun either in the postseason or in the regular season. Now, handling is a bit of a stretch, given some of the games were close, but Dallas was leaving with 2, and we were either leaving with 0 or 1. Well, that had some change to it this year. And when you ship all in on Kaprizov, you pay him for many reasons. I mean, you pay him so nobody else pays him. You pay him to appease him because it's the right thing to do, because he's that good. But you also pay him to find a way, likewise for his teammates in the Ultimate Team game, to find a way to change games and dominate in the postseason, maybe more so than he has at this stage of his career. He's red hot. I mean, he's red hot right now. So I fully expect him to be part of the identity of a winning series for the Wild. But then after that, you shock the NHL with the Quinn Hughes trade. Now, I mean, I'm being told this more so than looking at things and providing examples. But yeah, Hughesy's been better than let's say the last week and a half. And I know he had a goal within the last week, and it was super sweet from the Zuccarello pass. But, Hughesy at times, like in that Dallas game, man, he had a 2.5-minute shift. And it doesn't look like he's tired, but I just don't think it behooves you to use one of your better players that long on a shift. Now, I mean, it's hockey, it's last change, and 8s beat 1s, and sometimes you can't get off the ice. But, I mean, like, if Hughesy doesn't play tonight, and I don't really see any reason to play him tonight when you got a game tomorrow at home and it's fan appreciation night. But, like, if Hughesy tomorrow night plays and Heinze cuts his minutes, well, I mean, what's that mean? Like from 34 a game down to 27?
I always love that one.
So when you make a move like that for Quinn Hughes, you make it for one reason, to advance in the postseason. You pay Kirill to advance in the postseason. Boldy is becoming top 10, top 15 stock in the NHL if he's not already there. And I trust Matt Boldy and his physical two-way nature every bit as much as I trust the first two that I mentioned. But like Mike, on the talkback machine said, we still got to see it. You still got to see it. And by the way, we haven't mentioned the goaltenders one time. So Bus will get the net game 1. Got to come through. It's not a steal a game type situation. When elite hockey minds expect their goaltender to, quote, steal a game, end quote. Well, that generally plays into, well, we're down 97. We're down 43. Hartsy's limping. And Erickson Ek just got back from 2.5 months off. Might have to steal one tonight. Goaltender might have to steal one tonight. That's not the case. Wild, full strength, not debatable, always were. So this is a massive, massive series coming up for the Minnesota Wild, a team that hasn't won a playoff series in a decade. The Timberwolves, the last time they saw the Nuggets, they beat them. And they did so on the road. And Jaden McDaniel shot 9 of 12 and had 20 points in 33 minutes. Bones Highland played like 16 minutes, had 18 points. Bones is going against the team that drafted him. And it was a very surreal, emotional type game for old Bones Highland. Now, he was lights out. He could not miss in that game at Ball Arena. You know, when Finchie joins 90 minutes from now, one of the questions is, this is big for everybody, but, I mean, Bones is going to be all wound up. I mean, he plays wound up in the first place. So you got to make sure that his emotions are in check because this is the postseason. And given it's the postseason, the narratives that we have heard, mostly from a negative standpoint, all season about ball got too sticky. On-ball defense needs to be better. The crispness or lack thereof of the passing, the alacrity, the speed of the passing within the action, within the scheme. None of that can happen. On-ball defense has to be on point. The schemes, the offense has to be run the way the offense is supposed to be run. Now, if you're late in the game and you get the right L on the right player for us, yeah. I mean, give my man a pick and let him go. Give him a pick and let him go, whether it's Anthony, whether it's Julius, or Jaden McDaniels. McDaniels is a massive, massive piece in this series, especially if they give him requisite touches. He scored 20 on 12 shots a month and a half ago at Denver, and he was terrific. They had no answer for him, absolutely none. But they were down Aaron Gordon in that game. So what are they going to do with Aaron Gordon? Aaron's a tough player. He can score a little bit, but what are they going to do with Aaron? Aaron can be a really, really tenacious rebounder and defender. What are they going to do with Aaron? That's compelling. The talkbacks involve who has a better chance to advance and why. Advance chance. Wild or Timberwolves? Here's another.
Hey, good morning, guys. Mitch here from South St. Paul. So between the Timberwolves and the Wild this year, I definitely feel like the Minnesota Wild have the better chance to advance. It just seems like over the last handful of games, the Timberwolves have kind of fallen off, lost their chemistry. Are they even fully healthy? Who's even going to be their starting five in the first game for the playoffs? We don't even know. I have no idea what this team is even looking like. It just looks like the Wild have a little more chemistry, and I feel like they are the better team overall. So I think they'll go further.
Digging it, man. That was a solid talkback. He goes the way of,
let's play hockey!
Finchie will come out with DiVincenzo, Edwards, Randall, McDaniels, and Gobert.
Yeah.
That'll be the starting five. Now, when it comes to from a cohesiveness standpoint, yeah, I mean, I understand what he's saying, but the NBA, as much as, if not more, than any sport of all the professional sports, this is the league where, as I've said 8 million times, back to 98, PA and Dubé, 10-1 just for fun. When any NBA player decides to play super hard on defense or pay attention, hide the women and children because they're that gifted. And that generally takes place in the postseason. So that'll be your starting five. The Timberwolves down, Gobert, Friday night. Gobert, Randall, don't think Naz Reid played. That group they threw out against Houston, Houston played all of its best players. Houston was trying to win that game hard at home to get home court advantage in the first round. Finchie went out there and beat them. So, like, if I'm the LA Lakers, I would want Houston in the first round, too, before a full-throttle, completely healthy Timberwolves team. I mean, Houston the other night had some Dallas Cowboy counterfeit $3 bill to it. So that Ayo Dosunmu, now in the mix for the Timberwolves. He's played like 4 or 5 playoff games in his life. He hasn't played in the playoffs in nearly a half decade. And he was kind of a non-factor for the Baby Bulls. That's the X factor in the series here. Dosunmu is the X factor in the series for the Timberwolves off the bench with Naz Reid, giving a little bit of pop. That should be cool.
And you just have to assume or trust that the defense shows up, right? I mean,
it has to.
Joker went for this season in 4 games, 35, 15, and 11.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go back in time, that victory you mentioned over the Nugs, they were without Aaron Gordon, but that was also the best defensive performance of the 4.
Big time.
For our favorite team. And if you go back to the series 2 years ago, it's not as vivid as it was in 2024. but you can look at their wins versus losses. It was very much a trading blowout series, if you remember it.
Yeah.
We rocked them so hard in the first 2 games that it was fourth quarter running clock terrorism, but then they bounced back. And in particular with those games, I thought we were incredible against Joker overall in those victories, bookending the series. And just so limiting him, we see it with this team, PA.
Yeah.
The Stars get theirs. The Stars get theirs against this team.
Yeah.
And what we do then, and why we've had success in the playoffs, sans the conference title series, is we've limited them to some degree when we find them in the playoffs. So that's really the A topic for me. And I think the Wolves have a better shot, PA. I mean, it's not just equity. It's easy to say, like, getting over hump, and this team hasn't found its way out of the first round in a decade, that being the Wild. But this is a different team. They have gone all in some respects, adding Quinn Hughes and just what they've been able to bolster around Kaprizov and budding Boldy. I mean, we got 2 top 8 goal scorers in the NHL on the same team. So we got that firepower. I do kind of tremble. I am a road warrior as it pertains to Gus Bus right now, man. And I'm a bit of a worrier in terms of over the course of this year, all those games, including the most recent one against Dallas, the 3-1 lead that became 3-3. Those types of situations, our inability to close it down. Well, you get overtime in the playoffs, Eric. I understand that. It's just their inability after staking 3-1. We've seen a 4-1 deficit erased recently. I believe it was the Red Wings game, and we needed the hat trick from Kaprizov.
Well, I want to add Tampa Bay in there because, I mean, Tampa Bay, when we played Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay, the Lightning were coming off 9 days away from home.
Yeah.
And it was their 5th game in 4 days, or their 4th game in 5 days, excuse me, no doubleheaders in hockey. Ernie Banks go crazy. And even their coach, John Cooper, was immortality. Before the game, in like the Vox in the Box chat, Cooper was like, I mean, they're so cocksure with what they do with Kucherov's team. He was like, I'm concerned about tonight. We've been away forever. We got in yesterday. We're tired, and I'm concerned about tonight. So what do? We jump them like 3 or 4 to 1. Yeah. I mean, we just went 2 to their 1 into the second period. Then your favorite part of hockey took place. A couple of fights broke out. And I have everybody in the world disagreeing with me on this, and I don't have to bang my hand down and dang it, I'm going to be right. I'm telling you right now, watch that game closely with respect to Heinze and the captain, Wes Walls. The Tampa Bay Lightning team I saw before those fights broke out was not the Tampa Bay Lightning team from an interest level after those fights broke out. And they ran by us. Like that Red Wings game where we ended up winning, but the Wings, they were getting killed. Then that Stars game 3-1. We were buzzing around that thing last Thursday. I mean, we were fixing to beat them like 5-2. But then everything went haywire.
Yeah. So that's... I just the nature of the equity combined with the matchup. Yeah. Joker's probably the best individual player if you're thinking about matchups and those sorts of things, most certainly.
If you could have any player from both teams in a draft,
it's Jokic.
With respect to Ann, I'm taking Joker.
It's and by the way, as he gets older, he's only continuing the dominance. So it's Wemby's MVP and everyone else is just playing for second, but
we'll see about that.
Joker is a freaking nightmare. And but we handled him well. That's the thing, is when we need to. This frustrating, weird, emotional, ebbing and flowing team that it is, led by Anthony Edwards, shows up in these spots. And so without a track record on the ice, I do feel more confident if one of the two was to advance, I'd probably pick the Howl. Let's grab another. Let me see here.
Dig it.
This person. A Wild fan.
Hey guys, this is Jason from East Bethel. I think the Wild have a better chance to win just because hockey is more of that kind of sport. However, I do think the Wolves will win. You're going to see a series where Jokic averages 40 because that's the Wolves' defensive plan. Everyone's going to freak out and act like Rudy's a terrible defender. But they're not going to pay attention to the fact that Aaron Gordon, Christian Braun, Cameron Johnson can't do anything in the lane, and Jaden's destroying them on the perimeter.
I love
Wolves
that.
in 5.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I love that.
Joker's going to get his, and how we handle some of those other aspects of the game. I think that plays into it.
Well, if you deep dive some of the key moments, of the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves this year, and really since Vinci got here. If Nikola Jokic is settling for 3-point shots, we'll win the series in 5 or 6. Now, when the Wolves beat them a month and a half ago there, Denver went 6 of 22 from 3. And a lot of them were left open because they lacked confidence. But a major, I'm going to bring this up to Finch. We'll see what he says. A major key here is to suck Joker into shooting 3-point shots. He can make them, but if he's shooting 3-point shots, what's he not doing? He's not passing.
Right.
And he's not getting fouled. And those are keys. Hit another one. This is fun.
Talkback machine, free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, PA and Nardo. Jack from Fargo. Well, I got to pick the Wild to get through the first round because the Wolves are just too unreliable. I love them, but you don't know what team's going to show up, and you don't know if they're all going to try real hard. So, but you put the Wild into the mix, and I think it's going to come down to goaltending and defense. If we can get some good goaltending and the defense, I think we're going to match up very well, and we're going to get through that first round.
Hey, Talkbackers. On a Monday, you guys came ready to play for postseason series that begin Saturday at 2:30. The most recent answer to the query:
Let's play hockey!
This time of the year, this is exceptional. This is sports snobbery at its highest. When it comes to the local pro sports teams, Wild and Dallas, Wolves and Nuggets, that'll be a common thread all week. When we return, McTockett joins 9 to noon.